This is the second part of my 2012 exam. Question number 11. Which of the following combinations of changes in government spending and taxes is necessarily expansionary? So we're talking about fiscal policy here. Remember the three things? With fiscal policies, increase or decrease government spending, increase or decrease taxes, increase or decrease government transfer payments. So if you want to expand the economy, what do you want to do with government spending? You want to increase it. What do you want to do with taxes? You want to decrease it. Decrease them. So the answer is B. Question 12. Now this is the money market graph. I'm going to try and make these videos short. You can pause them at any point. But this is the money market graph. Nominal interest rate. You got the demand for money, the money supply, and the quantity of money. And so when you talk about people wanting to hold money, that's M1, which is not just cash. I usually say the word cash in class, but really it's cash, checking accounts, traveler's checks. That's the three things that are in M1. So the question here, it says it's talking about how much money the public wants to hold in the form of cash. And that is this line here, the MD line. And anyway, so what happens is if the interest rates go up at the bank, okay, right now interest is very, very low. It's ridiculously low right now. It's basically zero. So nobody's really interested in putting their money in the bank if they've got cash other than to keep it safe. So what would make, which of these answers is true? The amount of money that the public wants to hold in the form of cash will, and the answer is C, decrease if interest rates increase. Because a couple things are going on here. Number one, you're just not going to be, buying that much stuff if interest rates are higher. You're going to hold on to your money. But the real key to this is if the banks are paying higher interest on the amount of money you put in savings, people are not going to want to keep it in their checking accounts or in their pockets. They're going to want to put it in their savings accounts. Number 13. Now this is the circular flow. And I did not spend hardly any time at all in this. There's only supposed to be one multiple choice question. And here, I think I showed you maybe a couple of them. You can just go out to Google if you're interested in this and Google this. But the theory is that households provide resources. In other words, they're your family, they're workers. They provide resources, and those resources go to businesses, which use those resources, their employees, to make products which households also buy. It's always compare this to a washing machine. The money is just going around and around and around. And so the best answer here is C. Householders are suppliers of resources and consumers of goods and services. I see one of these questions on pretty much every exam, and they're all generally some version of this, although one year there was a question that said which of the following would be considered a leakage, and that would be if people save some of their money. The theory is people go to work, get their money, and then spend it buying things from companies where their family members work. All right, so number 14. So consumption, of course, is spending. And so if the real interest rate goes up, what's going to happen to consumption? So the real interest rate, if you remember the day that I had you guys do car payments and house payments, the higher the interest rate, the less people are going to buy. So for number 14 here, if the interest rate goes up, consumption is going to decrease. And, I don't have a picture of the graph up here, the ADSRAS. But if AD goes down, the intersecting point is going to go further to the left. What's on the bottom axis is real GDP. So real GDP is going to decrease as well. So 14, the answer is D. 15, now remember, I compare the Phillips curve to a seesaw, at least the SRPC. Remember, in the long run, there is no real change in the LRPC. Actually, I need to spend more time on that, but not on this question. Plus, I'm trying to make this video short. So basically, lower inflation rates are associated with higher unemployment rates. So inflation is prices going up. So prices go up when lots of people have money and they're spending it, right? Remember the law of supply and demand. If people are buying it, you're going to raise the price. That's just the law of the market. Without government controls, that's the law of demand. Okay, so now if people are unemployed, they're going to not be spending that much money, and so there's not going to be a rising level of prices. As a matter of fact, prices are probably going to be going down. So the best answer for 15 is A. Which of the following will lead to a decrease in a nation's money supply? And so this is really a monetary policy question. Remember, the Federal Reserve has 3/4 things they can do. They can increase or decrease the reserve requirements. They can increase or decrease the discount rate. They can buy or sell T-bills, or they can target a higher federal funds rate or a lower federal funds rate. And the one of these things on the answer here that will definitely cause the money supply to go down is D. And obviously what that means is if the bank is required to keep, say, 20% of their checking accounts on hand rather than 10%, that is going to reduce the amount of money they can loan out, thereby decreasing the money supply. Number 17. Now, I just went over this, and like a dummy, you've heard me say that if I've had a good night's sleep, I'm pretty good at economics. I am pretty well exhausted right now. The reason I haven't done more videos is I'm getting my pet project, AP Euro, my baby, ready to go tomorrow. And so they're sucking up all my time here. And so I really haven't had enough sleep. And I missed this one for pure stupidity. It said an increase in which of the following would cause the aggregate demand curve to shift to the left. Well, demand going down is bad. Supply going down also is bad. And so what I did was I read through these and I saw C, and I'm just, automatically thought C is definitely bad. And it is bad, but that wouldn't cause aggregate demand to decrease. That would cause supply to decrease. So I missed an easy one here. 17, the answer is D. And so an increase in income taxes means people have less money to spend. All right, so 18, I'd be honest with you, I hate these, but they're all easy to get if you just simply write the graph on your paper. And I know a lot of you can do this in your head. Congratulations, you're brilliant. Some of us are brilliant. Some of us are doing the best we can with what the good Lord gave us. So I just put up just a generic supply and demand graph, and I start going through the scenarios here, and the best answer is C. The no change one, I don't know that this is smart for me to tell my kids this, but frequently the one with a no change in there somewhere is the answer. But, it's not smart to do that unless you've only got 5 seconds left and you're trying a Christmas tree. Remember, don't you dare leave a question blank. My daughter passed every AP exam she ever took at Apopka High. I think she took six. The only one she ever failed was her father's class. She passed Euro, but she failed AP World because the person doing the test did not give a 10-minute warning. Anyway, you plug all these in, the answer is C. 19, my favorite, the bank and balance sheet. Now, the way I do these is I read the question, and this is quite common for them to do this, and just start going through the answers. So the reserve requirement is 10%. So let's look at Bank A. So they have $5,000 in demand deposits. They have to have 10% in required reserves. Well, that's $500. They got $500 in excess reserves. A's not the answer. Bank B, their demand deposits are $600, so they have to have $60 in required reserves. So they got $40 in excess reserves. So B's not the right answer. As a matter of fact, you can see right there that D is the right answer. All right, which of the following, and we're only doing 10 of these at a time, would most likely lead to a decrease in inflationary expectations? And expectations is when you think you know what's going on and you think this is going to cause inflation to go up. And so remember, inflation is increasing prices. So if you think something is about to happen, which is going to cause things to get more expensive, people are going to buy less of them, and people are going to lose their jobs. I hope I'm explaining this right. And so which of these things would contract the economy, making people lose their jobs and have less money to spend, and actually just spend less money because they're worried they're going to lose their job? And the answer to this is C. If you have a decrease in the money supply, interest rates go up. People, remember our day we did houses and cars. The price of houses goes up. prices of cars go up. And so people buy less of them. And so if they're buying less of them, what are businesses going to do? They're going to drop the price. Okay, I got this right at 10 minutes, so we did pretty good.